Hi guys, welcome to my channel Shiva's Tech Hub. So in this session of Java tutorials, today we will be looking at one of the most important topic in Java. So that is strings. So basically this is the agenda for this particular session. So first we'll try to understand what actually is a string, then what are the various ways of declaring and initializing a string, and what is a string buffer, what is a string builder, and we will also be looking into the difference between all the three like string buffer and string builder. Okay, so first let us try to understand what actually is a string. So basically a string is an immutable object. So word immutable is nothing but one which cannot be changed or manipulated. So it also represents a sequence of characters. So character is nothing but it is single alphabet, whereas sequence of character forms a string. Okay. So in short, we can understand string as an immutable object that represents a sequence of characters. Okay. So in order to define a string, so that can be done by using string class that is present in java.lang package. Okay. So we can define a string by using string class. And let us also try to understand what actually is Java string pool. So Java string pool is nothing but it is a memory location where the strings are being stored in the heap memory. Okay, so for example, we will be having a heap memory which stores all the variables whatever we create. Now in that heap, so there will be a special memory that will be dedicated only for storing the string type of variables. Okay, so one which is defined by using string class. So that part we can call it as string pool, right? So according to the definition, we can also understand that so whenever a new object is created, string pool first checks whether the object is already present in the pool or not. For example, I am declaring a string. So for example, let me write it down here. So here I have created a string. So for example, the string is already being created. Now after creating a new string, it initially checks if this particular string Shiva is already present in the string pool or not. So if the uh, particular string is present in the string pool, let me write it down over here. So for example, in this case, the string is already present in the string pool, right? So what it does is it will return you the string that is present. Now, what if the string is not present in the string pool? What it does is it creates a new memory location and stores this particular string Shiva in the string pool. So that is how it will work. So if it is not present, then it will create a new object. So that is what it is written over here. And also respective reference will be written. So whenever we create a new string, if the particular string is not present, so what it does is it it creates a new memory location in that particular string pool, and it returns you with the reference of that particular string where it is being stored. So that is how string pool works. So let us try to understand it with the help of a diagram. So for example, here I have created three strings. One is apple, the second string is mango, and the third string again apple. Okay, so let us try to understand how it works. So as I said, this is the Java heap. So this part totally is Java heap. And this part, the one that is marked in blue is the string pool, right? So whenever we create a string apple, so initially it checks if this is present or not. So since initially the string pool will be empty, right? So what it does is it stores the apple that is present in S1 to this particular string pool. Then for the second string, it will check if the mango is present or not. So initially mango won't be present. So what it does is it stores this particular S2 in a specified memory area in the string pool. Then again it checks for the third string S3, right? So now for S1 we have already defined the same string apple, right? So it is already present in the string pool. So what it does is it directly returns this reference and it stores this particular apple into S3. So that is how the string pool works. So let us also try to understand in how many ways we can declare a string. So basically there are two ways to declare a string. One way is by using string literal, and the second way is by using new keyword, and the third way is initially we will be creating a character array, then we will convert that character array into strings. So these are the three ways by which we can define or declare, or you can call it as initialize a string in Java. So let us try to understand how can we initialize a string by using string literal. Okay, so the definition is simple, like we do it for any variable. So you need to have the data type, so that which is nothing but string str is the name of the variable where we are going to store this particular string. Now if you try to print str, so this will be printed. So Shiva take up, so whatever we have initialized, so that will be printed in the console. Okay, so that is how we will be initializing the string by using string literal. So now let us try to understand the second way of defining a string. So by using new keyword. So the syntax is simple. So we just need to take a variable str, then create a new string object. So as a string is a class, so in order to create a new string, we need to use new. So what it does is it creates a new memory location if this particular string is already present or not. If the string is not present, then what it does is it will store the memory location. If the string is already present, then it returns the reference. So here, what we are doing using new object, we are creating a new string and storing a value Shiva Tekab into that particular string string variable str. Now, if we try to print it by using system.out.println, so this will be printed. So whatever you are seeing over here will be printed, right? So this is the second way of declaring or initializing a string. Now let us try to understand the third way, which is by using the character array. So here what we need to do is we need to define an array of characters and store each character in a specified index position. Right here we are storing 5 characters. So now after that what we need to do is we need to create a new string object, and we can pass this array as an input to that particular string. Okay, a string object. So what it does is it will automatically convert this character array into a string. So the output will be printed as Shiva. So it will print it as a word, not as a character array, right? So this is the third way of defining a string by using the character array. So let us try to understand the next important topic, which is string buffer. Okay, so let us also try to understand the difference between string and string buffer. And also there is one more class called as StringBuilder. Okay, so we'll also try to understand the difference between all the three in the later point of this particular session. So first, let us try to understand the string buffer. String buffer is exactly opposite of string. String is a immutable object, right? So this is the mutable object. It means we can manipulate the content of that particular string that is being created by using string buffer. Okay, so as I said, it is also used to declare the strings. Okay, and one more difference between string and string buffer is you cannot use strings for threading processes, whereas string buffer is used for threads. Okay, so it is also thread safe and it is also synchronized. Okay, so you cannot use the strings for threading, like multi-threading or single threading, used when multiple threads are working on the same string. So for example, let us try to understand this with an example. So for example, let me create through two threads. Let us consider this as thread 1 and this as thread 2, and let me write down a string. This is thread 1 and this is thread 2, right? So here what we have done, we have created through two threads and it is trying to interact with the same string, right? So if we have to do that, so if you do it by a normal string, it won't accept, right? So here I have declared it as a normal string, so it is not valid scenario. Like if you want to use multi threads, uh, whenever you declare a value by using string class, so it is not accepted. So for that, what you need to do is you need to declare the string by using string buffer. Okay. So now let us look into the syntax. And also before getting into the syntax, we will also try to understand the second point, right? Performance is slower compared to string builder. So string builder is nothing but it is also same as string buffer with a minor difference, right? So now when it comes to string buffer, it is greater than string. The performance is greater than string. It is faster than string, but it is slower than string builder. Okay, so let us try to understand why. Okay, in the coming slides. So this is the syntax how to create a string by using string buffer. So first what we need to do, you need to create a string by using string class and store it in a variable. Okay. So then afterwards in the next statement, what we need to do, we need to pass this str parameter into the string buffer class object. Okay. So the object can be created by using this way. So string buffer class, the object of that particular class equal to new string buffer. So after creating this, you need to pass this string as a parameter to this string buffer class. So this is how we will be creating a string by using string buffer. So let us try to understand one more concept which is called as string builder. Okay. So like string buffer, it is also a mutable object in Java that is used to perform string manipulations. Manipulations in the sense any mutable objects can be changed, right? Immutable cannot be changed. Okay, so they are not thread safe and non-synchronized. So basically, string buffer, as I said, it works for multiple threads, whereas string builder works for thread but only single thread. Okay, so whenever you try to use multi-threading environment, then string buffer is the preferred way. If you want to use single-threaded environment, then you can use string builder. If you don't want to use a threaded environment, then you can use string. So that is basically the difference between three. Now, as I said, it is basically used for single threaded environment. Okay, so whereas string buffer is used for multi-threaded environment and performance is faster compared to string buffer. Okay, so it is faster than string buffer as well as string. Okay, so now let us try to understand how we can declare a string by using string builder. Okay, so basically the syntax is the same, just that in place of string buffer, you need to use string builder class. So initially you need to create a variable and store some value. Then what you need to do, you need to pass this value into this particular string builder class. So in this way, we can create a string by using string builder class. Okay. So now let us try to understand the difference between string buffer and string builder in terms of a program. Okay. So now let us try to understand what we are trying to achieve by using this particular thing. Okay. So first what we are doing is I have created three methods. One is to concatenate one string with another string by using string class. So this is by using string buffer class and this is concatenating by using string builder. Okay, so we are trying to do the same operations, just that this is by using string, this is by using string buffer and this is by using string builder. Now when it comes to the main function, so for each and every method we are using separate variable like str1 for string to create a string by using string class, str2 to create a string by using string buffer, str3 is to create a string by using string builder. Okay, so now let us try to understand what it actually does. So first, let us go to the main function. So whenever we try to run this program, it automatically comes to the main function. So first, let us try to understand this first method. Okay, so here what we are doing is here we have defined a string str equal to Shiva. Now str concat is nothing but whenever you call this particular method, it will automatically go to this particular function. Okay, and it will pass the variable str1 into this particular function over here. Okay, so str1 is passed. Now next operation what will happen is str1 equal to str1 is nothing but Shiva. So that is what we passed, right? str1, so it will be passed Shiva. Then you are going to concatenate with Jacob. Okay, The expected is whenever you are performing the concatenation operation, it should print you with Shiva take up, right? But since strings are immutable object, so it won't be printed. What will be printed? Shiva only will be printed whenever you try to print str1. So that is how we need to understand the immutability of a string class. Okay. Now, when you try to do the same operation with a string buffer, what we'll do is, so here I am performing the same operation, like I am passing a string Shiva. So then the same str2 Shiva will be passed on to this particular function. Okay. So then what I am trying to do, I am trying to use a predefined function in Java to concatenate one string to the another string using string buffer. So append is a method. So if you try to append, what will happen is, so this will str2 will store Shiva space take up. So this will be printed because string buffer is nothing but it is a mutable object. It means it will allow you to change the content, like manipulate the content that is present in this particular str2. Okay. Same thing with string builder. So if you consider str3, here also I am passing the same string Shiva take up. So will be printed. Okay. So this is how we will be understanding the mutability and immutable concept of string, string buffer, and string builder. Okay, so in this case, it won't be printed. Shiva take up won't be printed. Only Shiva will be printed. In this case, Shiva will be printed since it will allow you to concatenate two strings. And this also will be concatenated. And whatever the resultant is there, so that will be again stored. The new value will be stored. Whereas whenever you concatenate using string class, it will still store the initial value that is present in str1. So that is the difference between string builder, string buffer, and string. So to summarize, we will also be looking at the difference between string, string buffer, and string builder based on few parameters. Okay, so first let us try to understand the first parameter, storage, in terms of where it will be stored. Okay, as I said, so we will be having Java heap, and inside that Java heap, we will be having a string pool, which is a dedicated memory location for string class. So the same thing is being shown here. So whenever you declare or initialize a string by using string class, it will directly go to the string pool and it will be stored over there. Whereas whenever you create a string by using string buffer or string builder, it will directly go to the heap memory location. Okay. Now let us try to understand the second parameter, which is nothing but mutability. Okay. As I said in the previous slide, string is immutable. It means it cannot be changed, whereas string buffer is mutable and as well as string builder is mutable. Okay. It means we can manipulate the content of that particular string. Now let us try to understand it in terms of threading parameter. So strings cannot be used for a threaded environment, whereas string buffer can be used for the multi-threaded environment, whereas string builder is used for the single-threaded environment. So this is one of the main difference between string, string buffer, and string builder. And let us try to understand it in terms of performance. So string is the slowest of all the three, and string buffer is slower than string builder but faster than string, whereas string builder is the fastest of all the three. Okay, so then let us try to understand the last parameter, how we can define. So we can define it by using two ways. So one is by directly creating the string literal, and the second one is by using string object, right? And this is how we will be declaring or initializing a string by using string buffer, and this is how we will be doing it by using string builder. Just that the difference is you need to replace the string buffer class with the string builder class. Okay, so this is the summary of string, string buffer, and string builder in Java. Okay, so let us look into the concept of strings along with a program example. So first we will be looking at ways to declare a string. Okay, so as I said, the first way is just to create a string literal or a variable and store some value. Okay, and try to print it. Okay, Shiva will be printed in the output. Okay, so let us do the same thing by using new object. Okay, so this can be done by taking a variable, then creating a new object and enter some value. Right, I will enter the same value and try to print it str2. Right, so the same thing should be printed. Okay, so this is by using the second method. Then using the third method, that is first creating a character array, then converting that character array into a string. So let me write it down from character array. Okay, so character ch equal to, so let me directly write down the characters. So first is caps. So just create a new string object, then pass this particular character array into that particular string. So then try to print that variable str3. Okay. So here if you are seeing, all the three are doing the same operation. So first what we have done, we have declared a string by using string literal, and second by using the new object over here. And third, first we are creating a character array, then after that we are trying to pass that character array variable into the string object. Okay, so this is how we will be declaring the strings. Now let us try to understand the important concept, difference between string, string buffer and string builder. Okay, so let us try to understand the difference between string, string buffer and string builder. Let us consider the example of concatenating, right? So for example, let me create a string str4 equal to same thing, Shiva. Okay, so now what I will do is I will just try to concatenate str4 dot. So concat is the function. So that is used to combine one string with another string in string class. Okay, so I will try to concatenate this with header and try to print the content that is present in str4. Okay, so then same thing I am going to do it with string buffer. Okay, so let us check the outputs at once. Okay, so string buffer is b or equal to new string buffer, same thing Shiva. So in string buffer, what we can do is we do have a function called as append that is used to concatenate one string with another. So there is no concat function in string buffer or string builder. Instead, what we can use is we can use append function. So take up. Now let us try to do the same thing with string builder. And also we can use the same append function. So let us try to print the content that is present in string builder, and here also I will try to print the content that is present in SBR. Now let me write down some meaningful words so that it will be easy for us to understand. So let me use the same set of statements for string buffer as well, so that it will be easy for us to understand in the output what we are actually getting. So let me copy this and add the same thing for string builder. Okay, so let me change this using string buffer, and this is by using string builder, right? So let me try to print them, run as Java application. So if you see here, so let me mark it. So basically this is, you are doing the concatenation operation. So here str4 equal to Shiva, then you are trying to concatenate Shiva with the take-up, right? So whenever we try to print the content that is present after this concatenation, it still stays as Shiva. Okay, so it means it is immutable. So this is the meaning of immutability. Now we are doing the same thing by using string buffer, right? So string buffer SBR equal to new string buffer of Shiva. So we are also doing the same operation, but this time by using append method, right? The same thing it does. It concatenates one string with another string. So if you see the output, it is printed as take up, Shiva take up. So it means it is changed, right? Now, if you do the same operation by using string builder, here you have created a string by using string builder, and you are going to do the same operation, Shiva space take up. And if you see the content, it is also printing the same thing, Shiva take up. So by this example, we can understand that string is immutable, which cannot be changed, whereas string buffer and string builders are mutable objects in Java. So that is the main difference between string, string buffer, and string builder. That's it for this video, guys. Don't forget to like, subscribe to my channel Shiva's Tech Hub, and get notified to the future updates. And also don't forget to share it on various social media platforms. Thank you.